I scored a 760 on the GMAT with 6 weeks of self-study using only the GMAT official guides for my preparation. That helped me get an MBA from Columbia Business School along with a couple of scholarships, which kind of made sure that I did not go entirely bankrupt in pursuing a business degree. That was in 2018. Several years later, a new format of the GMAT has come into force, and I'm taking on the challenge of giving the test again and equaling or beating my previous score. Today is day 2 of my GMAT Prep. I have set aside a couple hours to continue my preparation for the test. To get started, I have the GMAT official guide and my notes from day 1 of my preparation. My primary objective for today is to take care of some initial logistics, such as registering on MBA.com and getting access to the online question bank, which comes free when you purchase the GMAT official guide. Once I'm done with that, I will go through the concept review section in the official guide just to refresh my memory of the concepts one needs to know for the GMAT. So let's get started. Alright, so I've finished some of the initial actions that I wanted to take. I started off by creating an account on MBA.com. In my case, an account already existed because I've given the GMAT before. So really all I had to do was log in. After that, I used the activation code from the physical official guide to get access to the online question bank. I highly recommend doing that because the online question bank has some questions which are quote-unquote online exclusive, meaning they are only available on the website and you will not find them in the physical version of the official guide. There are also a few other benefits which I will dive into shortly. The next thing I did is go to mba.com/GMAT Prep to look at what other official practice materials are available. A couple things that I do not own yet are practice exams 3 to 6 and section by section practice questions for each of the quantitative, verbal, and data insight sections. Once I had logged into my account, I also looked at what resources are available for free. For example, you get access to the official starter kit as well as 2 free full-length practice tests. And of course, all across the board, I was taking a bunch of notes and identifying what else I needed to do in terms of next steps. Let's get into some of the key observations I made. First and foremost, I find the UX of the online question bank to be quite overwhelming. There are way too many bells and whistles. You have things like knowledge points and game center. I don't even know if anybody uses these things. And I somehow feel like these are some things which can give you the illusion that you're making progress in your GMAT prep, but which may not actually be useful. I'm sure someone has put in a lot of effort into building these features, so please feel free to go and explore it just to give it a try and see if you are interested in these things. There is also the question of whether or not you should be using the study plan that is on the website. Personally, I do not like the fact that it throws you right into the diagnostic evaluation pretty much immediately after you have looked at some of these how to use sections. I don't think taking the diagnostic evaluation straight up is a good strategy. I generally recommend that you do some preparation before taking the diagnostic evaluation. In my case, preparation would just involve basically going through the overviews of each of the 3 sections of the test. So what I plan to do is go through the quantitative, verbal, and data sites overview sections before I take the diagnostic evaluation. And maybe it's me that couldn't figure this out, but I don't see a way to move the diagnostic evaluation section lower down the list on the study plan. And that is one of the reasons why I don't think I'll be using it for the time being. Another key call out, once you log into your account and navigate to the details page of the online question bank, you will see that it gives you access to 3 practice exams. I just want to call out that the practice exams in this case actually is a reference to the diagnostic test. So as you can see, once you're here and you go to the practice exams tab, what you see is the diagnostic practice exams corresponding to each of the 3 sections. There is also a discussions feature where it looks like you can create private groups. I have not used this feature myself, and again, I don't plan on doing this because I will basically be relying on self-study to drive my GMAT preparation. Overall, once you have logged in to your account and you navigate to the online question bank, you're going to come across all of these sections that you can see on the left of the screen. I do not plan on using the study plan, game center, or discussions very much. I will just start by going to lessons. I will begin by looking into the quantitative, verbal, and data insights review as a first step. Once I'm done with that, I plan to take the practice exams, which are nothing but the diagnostic tests. Alright, so there we are. I'm now going to spend another 40 to 60 minutes to go through the review sections corresponding to each of the 3 sections of the test. So you have the data insights, review, verbal, and quantitative review. I don't think I'll be able to get through all of it in one go, but I will give it my best, and whatever is left over can be taken care of in day 3. Alright, so that was another 60 minutes and the end of my study session for today. Now, let's talk about what I was doing in the past 60 minutes. I started off by spending some time to decide if I should use the physical book or the online question bank to go through the review sections. I ended up going with the online question bank because I realized it has some cool features actually. So for example, you are able to highlight different sections. You can of course erase highlights. You're even able to bookmark things. And if you want, you can even add some notes in a few places. I think these are pretty cool features. That said, you should note that I was using the lessons tab on the online question bank and not the study plan tab. I still think that the study plan tab is actually a little overwhelming and might distract from your core goal of preparing for the exam. Maybe I will change my mind later, we will see. A quick tip, by the way. When it comes to going through the concept reviews, don't feel obliged to use the online question bank. If you're more comfortable using the physical books, I would recommend that you just go ahead and do that because it is equally easy to take notes on the physical book as well. However, when it comes to practice questions, I do recommend using the online question bank because it will help your mind get accustomed to seeing questions on a screen and then solving it on a piece of paper in front of you. Once I had decided to use the online question bank to go through the concept reviews, I then took the call of prioritizing the data insight section first. The reason I did that is pretty straightforward. Given the new format of the GMAT, the data insight section will also now count into your overall score. This was not the case before. As you can see on the screen, the data insights review really just introduces you to a bunch of basic concepts. To begin with, you are introduced to things like qualitative and quantitative data, as well as their subtypes, such as nominal data, ordinal data, continuous data, interval data, and so on and so forth. Then there is a section on reading tables and various types of charts, such as bar charts and pie charts. And finally, there is a section that talks about distributions and touches upon various statistical concepts like normal distribution and so on. Personally, I breezed through this review section in about 45 to 50 minutes because I am familiar with most of these concepts, and given my history as a management consultant and product manager, I encounter these things pretty much on a day-to-day basis. Not to mention, I also make sophisticated PowerPoint charts for this YouTube channel, such as this, and this. I also commonly make qualitative diagrams on Lucid, such as the one you are seeing on the screen right now. Now, coming to the concepts that you will learn in the Data Insights review, I personally feel that many of these things are good to know for theoretical reasons if you don't encounter data or work with data in the course of your job on a regular basis. In other words, if you don't already have an intuitive understanding of data and graph interpretation, the review section is a great place to begin. So for example, if you're professionally a book editor of children's novels, like one of my Columbia classmates, it is likely that you don't work with data on a day-to-day basis. So you might benefit from spending extra time on this review. On the other hand, if you're a banker or a consultant, you look at charts day in and day out. You might as well just breeze through this section and focus only on those elements that stand out to you. Your effort is better spent on the verbal section, where your future book editor classmate has a clear advantage over you. Here is a quick tip for the data insights section, by the way. While you want to learn concepts such as what is a data set, what is a record, what is a case, and so on and so forth, your final goal is to get to a point where you understand these things intuitively and don't need to use these terms to solve GMAT problems. Using this terminology can actually slow you down, and developing that intuition will actually help you address the velocity problem. So once you have achieved a satisfactory level of accuracy on your data insights practice questions, you want to transition to solving for velocity by developing that intuition. I will make a video about the key principles that will help you improve your velocity on the data insights section in the near future. You will see it linked somewhere up here. If you're still with me, you can click on the link in the video description to get access to a cheat sheet which you can use to practice some of the most critical tenets that will help you smash the data insights section with ease. So that is all for day 2 of my GMAT prep. If you have any questions for me, you will also find an Ask Me Anything link in the description, if not somewhere up here. I do not track or respond to comments on YouTube because it gets overwhelming for me and I have too many things to do, but I do my best to respond to at least 5 questions by email every single day. Finally, if you like this video, hit the like or subscribe button and I will see you soon.